Yay. Thank you for your word, Pascal.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, and I'd like to invite anybody that wants to share their word of the day.
Oh dear.
Dear? Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh no, I'm just giggling about what came up for me in the last 24 hours, and it just kind of blows me away.
Oh, do share.
Well, you guys know that that I've been up front and center with being really open, with staying open, and being open to a new practice, and what are the people like that I'm kind of meant to practice with, and this word came up yesterday: multi-potentialite. And I had never heard the word before.
No, I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of freaks me out.
Say it again.
Multi-potentialite.
Multi-potentialite. I like it though.
Yeah, I like it.
More.
I like it too,
More.
because I are one. Okay, and it's really funny. It came up in a discussion about a jack of all trades, and yeah, and this person was debunking the myth of a jack of all trades, master of none. But what I've come to realize, especially since I've been part of Magnetic Mind, is that there's more and more of those kind of people on the planet.
Yeah.
And there's getting to be more every day. And these are people that their primary mode of thinking is not linear.
Yeah.
It's random, abstract, conceptual. And these are like people that have autism, and it even shows up as ADHD and ADD. And these are people that are extremely brilliant, creative,
sorcerers, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And they kind of, in general, have difficulty fitting into society generally, and a lot of them have challenges with socializing, with being with other people, and being respected for who they are generally.
Yeah.
And but these are the leaders of tomorrow. These are the people that are being prepared and made ready to usher the world into the new paradigm. And they're the power people. And what came up for me is to make a community for these people. to make a peer support community for these people. And so I'm very, very excited about that. You know, these Renaissance people, they're, yeah. Wow, and it's just giving me the chills to say all this.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And another kind of side word that's coming into my awareness as well is multidimensional.
Oh, multi-dimensional beings.
Multidimensional, yeah, because these people operate because they're nonlinear. They don't really operate in the 4D very much. They're operating like in the 5D and the 6D, and they don't even know that they're doing it. They don't even know that that's where they, that's where they default to, is higher dimensionality.
Is that where we want to be?
Well, that's where we're going. That's where the whole earth is going. In fact, I've heard in some of the things I've been listening to that we're already in the earth is already in the 5 and 6D. And but generally people don't realize that the earth is there already, and that the earth is inviting us into those higher dimensions. But these multi-potentialites already kind of know that in their hearts, and they're kind of in there anyway. And this really hits home to me because my son, who will be 26 next month, is an autistic. So I've kind of grown up with him, and he's kind of grown up with me. I'm kind of dumbfounded by that, to be honest. And I also got a message yesterday to start looking for my dad in another form. He passed away 38 years ago. And I just got an impression that his soul has come back as another person. Because he didn't want to miss what's going on in the earth right now. Pretty miraculous time we're living in, people. Unprecedented in human history, this transition that's happening right now.
Thank you, Craig.
That's quite a calling to draw these people into a huge congregation. That support each other. Because these people are outliers in society.
Yeah, I love your share. I can definitely relate. I mean, I'm not an autistic. I don't think I'm ADHD, but yeah, it's hard for me to fit in, and like I'm definitely not a linear thinker. Yeah, I think like the range can be pretty big,
Yeah,
you know. So I think a lot of people can relate to that.
yeah. Yeah.
And definitely like jack of all trade and master of none. Yeah, that's me. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I'm interested in tons of stuff, but not interested in mastering any of them.
Probably because you already have.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's in everything. Like,
Yeah.
I love mountain biking, but I won't go every day.
Well,
I
yeah.
love skiing, but I won't go every day. You know, I'm not like die hard on things, you know.
Yep.
So
What do you
yeah, I
like to
love
do?
it. What I'd like to do?
Yeah, well, now you've got a baby. Like a lot of people stop doing the little hobbies that fills them up the most. And that's one of the things that we need to remember is we need to find that time to do, even if it's just a little thing for yourself that you love when you've got a baby and they're your main priority. You know, sometimes they take over our thoughts. So what do
Yeah,
you
no,
like to do? Something that you really love to do that you still want to do? Is there anything?
the only thing I can think of, it's finding the truth.
Ah, so making it on this call.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even like I'm diving deep in nutrition and diet and whatever, and like all my beliefs that I had at it got flipped upside down. And the best thing is I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's just one subject. You know, like for me, it's finding the truth in everything. I'm tired of eating like BS.
Yeah.
Well, that's good then, Pascal.
Yeah. And you're
Like you said,
doing research just for the sheer curiosity and love of it, right?
oh yeah,
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 Yeah. Yeah.
love that.
yeah. And I try to share it. Like I used to just keep it for myself, but now I try to share it for people that are ready to hear it. Right. So the more you share in these calls, the more I know you, and the more I can send you information that what I know. But if you don't share anything, then like I have no idea what your interests are. So you probably won't get anything from me. So I think it's extremely important, and I see this in this group that we're getting more and more vulnerable, and that's the beauty of these calls.
Well, I got to be honest with you guys. When I was younger, because I've been like this my whole life, but when I was younger, I tried to share stuff, like even with my, even with my family and stuff. And over the years, I just kind of kept things to myself because in general, people would think I was crazy. So I kind of held a lot of stuff inside for a long, long time until just recently. And, that's one of the things I like the most about these morning sessions that we're doing, because everybody in here is a potentialite, whether you know it's not, whether you know it or not. And it's one of the first places I've ever been in my life where there wasn't somebody that thought I was crazy. So, yeah.
No, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy.
I
You're
hope I'm
crazy
setting
good.
a good
That's it,
example.
crazy.
You're crazy good. But you're still crazy. And we love
Well,
you.
I know, and that's a good thing. I mean, that's a friggin' superpower. I'm very confident suggesting whatever pops in to my awareness, and it's great being part of an environment where I can do that. All that has a lot to do with true nature as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The spirit of the earth herself has a huge role to play in what's
Yeah.
going on the planet right now.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to realize the depth of that. And
Yeah.
wow.
Me too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. My word for today, I just want to tell you my word for today is solidify. I read it in a book that I was reading, and I thought, what does that mean? Like, to me. And like, we're thinking about connection, being connected to our higher self, to our superconscious. And I thought that word really connected that together. Solidifying. Like, there's so many different ways you could say it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's connecting them together.
We kind of went to the door though.
Did I lock you out?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we did. We took Daisy on a walk.
Solidify. Hmm.
Sorry, guys, I locked my teenager out. Yeah, solidify.
Hmm.
Because I keep thinking about this connection when, remember I jumped on that call and you were talking about what does your heart want that's new? And I've thought about that so much since we talked about it. And I feel like solidifying really meant connecting that connection back together. It's quite
Hmm.
cool.
Is that occurring in your heart, Ellie?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like this connection with myself's just feel more stronger now than it's ever felt before.
Hmm. What does that feel like?
It feels like my whole body feels like you feel the emotional response when I think about it. It's
Hmm.
pretty cool. Again, it's the faith and the knowing and all of that. All the good stuff. It feels
feel
like
like-
peace.
I was just gonna say, does it feel like calmness?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it feels
yeah.
like peace, inner
Yeah.
peace.
Is there power in it?
So much.
Hmm.
It's like you've got room to then focus and look in the direction that you're going because you've given it space and peace and
Foundation.
yeah,
Hmm.
like,
Grounded.
yeah, the foundations. That's where I'm at. The foundations, literally, guys. That's what it feels
Wow.
like. But it
Cool.
feels so good.
I'm really enjoying sharing the truth of that with you right now.
Mm.
Because I feel it too. Like I feel that whole that's where the words came from.
Yeah. And it's like the knowing of something that you've always known,
Mm,
you know, like something's led you to this
Mhm.
time. We've talked about this many times, but things lead
Yeah.
up to it for you to be prepared for what's next,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And it's magical.
It really is. I was telling Craig today I had the most magical day today. It was actually magical. Like we went to the beach and we were sitting and this massive pelican showed up, came beside us, He wanted my husband's bait. That's what it wanted. But it was just beautiful, this pelican, and it stayed with us for about an hour the whole time we were there. And my husband was just catching fish one after the other, all these little fish. And then the dolphins came. we were like,
Oh man.
we're exactly where we're meant to be doing this right now, because we should be in Shark Bay. We'd booked to go on holiday for Easter with Shark Bay, but funds just don't go that far. Sometimes you just have to, pull the reins in and realize that you can't have everything. So yes, we were down the beach today, and it was just magical. It was just the best day ever, and I thought, we're exactly where we're meant to be. We weren't meant to be doing the whole 10-hour run to Shark Bay. We were meant to be here doing this. We just lived above our means, I guess, while the family were here for them 5 months. It was just so now we're back on track, just working and loving life and spending as much time at the beach as we can until the winter sets in, because it's coming. Winter's coming.
Yeah.
And we
It's weird
attracted
having Easter in the fall, I bet, huh?
Do you know what really is? I'll never get used to having Christmas in the summer. Like, it's great,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but it's just weird. I'm used to snow in the winter, and coal fires and wood fires, and yeah.
Mm. So what kind of solid is that? Is it hard or soft?
What do you mean?
Or both?
I think of it like the vortex, like a snake kind of going round, I guess, if I was to describe it. Like connecting and joining.
Healing.
I was trying to imagine that solid like rock or like rubber.
More like rubber.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So you're connecting to a rediscovering, a finding and allowing and pulling out. Something to grab onto, to pull out with, to have a foundation and a base with. Solidifying the foundation. A line is a line to truth. Truth that you're powerful, the truth that you're creating, the truth that you can have what you want. That's progress. With multiple potential lights.
In multiple dimensions.
And multiple
Yeah.
dimensions. Thanks, Sally.
Yeah, it's
That
been
was-
fun to play with that. Yeah, heart solid is a different kind of solid.
Mm.
You know, truth is a different solid.
Yeah.
Faith is a different solid. I keep getting like the foundation though needs a solid, or otherwise everything that's built upon it comes out of alignment, comes out of harmony. The foundation is always shifting. Anything that's built upon it, you know, the progress that's built upon it.
Yeah, I just got resonance as well.
The word that's way out there, like, towards in that direction, is the healing. Progress of healing, progress of solidifying, connecting, building on the multiple potentials, potential lights, multiple dimensions. The kingdom of heaven here on earth. Building that so we can so we can create it together. Because you can't go through it alone. For whatever reason, I don't know. Not my rule.
It's not good for man to be alone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Nikki.
Morning, Nikki.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah, we are social animals. But not just that, the real power of humans is in the relationships.
yeah. Puzzles never complete without all the pieces.
And we all got a part to play in it.
That's right. Genius to play.
Yeah. But the relationships aren't just person to person. It's like relationships between thoughts and between
Mm,
interpretations,
mm,
and like relationships with environment
mm.
and our relationship with society as a whole.
The most important relationship with yourself.
Yeah, and relationship with God too, right?
Well, you are God, so that relationship within you, in allowing you to
You know what I
express
mean?
God,
Like it's all,
to allow to express God, and how you express God is that love. Because without that, you will always take offense. You will always feel that somebody's doing wrong to you, or somebody's going to do you in, or disrespect you, or get on the wrong side and misunderstanding. But when you really get into spirit and you know the truth, that is love, that is who you are, knowing you love yourself, knowing that it's not about others, because it's about you, everything changes. Because you get out of your way in knowing that this is what you really, truly walk in. You're not just talking, you're living it, you're breathing it. And energetically, everybody feels that. Because love, it is expression of the heart. And that's my word of the day. It's unconditional love.
That was beautiful, Nikki.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
And that is the truth. And that's what sets you free. That sets you free from all blockage of where you need to go and where you need to be. Because without that, you cannot do anything, because you are nothing without that. You can preach it, you can talk about it, you can make circles around it. But till you actually actively doing it, knowing there's pain, there's hurt, there's confusion, there's doubt, then you know you're active. Then you know you walk in the walk. Then you get to love the life you love. Then you get to love the people around you. Then you get to love everything, especially when it doesn't go your way.
Loop that around and give me your word again.
Unconditional love.
Thank you.
There's
think
no
progress-
conditions in the higher dimensions.
I think progress is more, it's more meaning to mastering. Because when you think you're a master in something, you can't go any further. And as long as you go on this earth, you will never be able then to actually open yourself up. Because that to me is, it's sort of a very much of an ego aspect. Progress is something that you continue humble yourself, you continue learning, you can continue looking within yourself in knowing, oh, okay, that's how, right. Because it's going within yourself with spirit, going with one and saying, right, how can I improve in this? Communication, because it's all about communication. Because without that, we have chaos. It's just going to continuously hit butting every time with everyone. This is why the environment is so important, who you be with. This is why whatever you put in your body is very important. It's everything. Growth and being comfortable can't occupy the same space.
Say that again, please.
Growth and being comfortable can't occupy the same space.
Hmm.
In mastery, you can't. Mastery, I hear mastery is, it's never an end point. I know how we can orient towards it. I hear it. But I think going for what you want is part of that as well. So not until the outcome is seen, fulfilled, completed, is it then it's time for something new. Whole other levels, different levels of it as well, as we move through it, as we move through creation. And that's where unconditional love for it, just the information back, comfortable with the information that is coming back is progress. Journeying together to gather, break through and scatter the genius.
Why the fixation on outcomes?
I have to use words, and words are a fixation.
You know, I had this thing of always like finding home, be home, you know.
Mhm.
And what came to me is the act of trying to find our way home is what convinces us that we're lost.
Mhm.
And we are not lost. We are not alone. And we have never even left home. All of this is just a remembering. Reborn into spirit, knowing that we're just here in a body, we can be able to know this is the 3D of seeing somebody. It's not, we're not illusional. It is what it is. But when you really get down to the nitty gritty and knowing who you really are, that is love, it shifts everything. All fear, all offense, all trying to, you know, overpower somebody or demean somebody or put them down or think you're right. And it all goes back to going, when you're in that frequency of real truth of who you really are, changes everything. There's nothing. It's just, that to me has given me open space now.
And you saying that has given me open space now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really
And
has.
all that, yeah. And all we're doing is skill packing, you know, learning things and obviously going through and taking it like one thing at a time. And this is all that it is, really, skill packing. We're just putting our skills together to make something of sense of everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
To experience
goes-
what we want.
Yeah, and also experience the fact that, yeah, we made it up. We created being in our sabotage identities of not being enough, not being worthy, not being significant, not being perfect, not belonging. We created that. We created that. We have to understand that it's our responsibility. Until we take that responsibility, we can't blame any other person. We did
Oh,
it.
Nick, I love you.
Yeah, I love you. And that's the beauty. That's the gift that we give to one another because you love you. And because you love you, you can love me. But if you don't love you, you can't love me. I don't expect you to love me. But I know you love me because you love you. And that's value.
Powerful.
It's very powerful. Very powerful, man. The power in love. Makes everything, moves everything, moves mountains, moves any obstacle, moves any defense, misunderstanding. And it's beautiful when that love is in action, because when somebody, as I spoke about my hairstylist, that is incredible. And, you know, you always feel like, oh, you know, am I depositing as she deposits in me? Yesterday, she called me. Very rare that she does that, but she called me yesterday in tears and absolutely moved by just thanking me. And is that something to say, oh, you want validation? No. But all these years, I kept being who I truly had always been with her. And it was just a wonderful connection, a wonderful relationship. But
Love that.
yesterday she poured out her heart. She just poured out her heart to me.
Oh,
So it's not about you not doing what you're doing. You're doing what you're doing. It's just that others have time. You got to give them time. You got to give them the space to articulate, because not everybody has words to explain how they feel. And this is what we're learning now. We're learning to articulate how we felt. Because as innocence and growing up, you had nothing to explain with words. You only could feel everything. And that is where we kept it in our bodies. And that's why we carry it through our lives. And that's what shows up every time we're in a relationship with people. Because you can't get away with people. People are going to be everywhere. So being sensitive, being deep, compassionate, and sensitive to people is a freaking gift. It's your power. It's your superpower. It's not weak or lame or some sort of pushover. No, God created that in you to be that, because we live in a world that is very, and you can fill in the blanks.
powerful, diverse.
Mm. Mm.
So
So that's why I think outcomes are just feedback that
Yeah.
let us know if we're on our path or not.
just feedback.
So you're always in an action.
Mm.
I don't want to be doing the same outcome over and over again.
Mm. Mm.
Then I'm missing so much if I am.
Mm. Mm.
Wonderful question though, Craig. Thank you.
Mm. Yep.
There's a lot of freedom when you realize that an outcome doesn't prove anything.
And it's a hard lesson for most to learn.
Yeah.
Especially a prover.
Yeah, or an achiever, an achievement addict.
Which is just a pattern.
Yeah.
I think that's very powerful, what you just shared now about the achiever and the approver. That meaning of what we saw ourselves as, okay? And the more we actually acknowledge that, the more active it is. So I think with me, to have my understanding of going further to say what I'm imagining, okay? if I had to imagine where I want to see myself in my desired reality of knowing that's what I'm choosing, if I keep on telling myself that I am dyslexic, I am speech impairment, told I was stupid, I can label all these things, okay? Abuse, blah, 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 blah. Then how can I ever see myself anything different than see myself that I was? And that is where a lot of us, and I speak for all of us, because when I'm doing it, we're all doing it. We are not separate. And that's where most things happen in life, because we think we're separate. We're not separate. We're one mind. There's one quantum field here. And so that is a mind shift. That's where we have to take ourselves out of our equation and say, what am I now? Who am I now? I am love. And nobody can tell me any difference. That's when change comes. And that's the change when you see it in this reality, because you don't get what you want, you get who you are. And everybody can receive that. Everybody can receive that if they choose, because you have free will. And no one can force their will on you. But when you give, and you give with a real intentionally of truth and love for that person, you won't need to say anymore. They will know. They will know to take the obvious action, because that's what love does.
That's the key, is when we speak what it is for us.
Mm. Mm.
So Ali, you were asking about the recode earlier. The greatest reprogramming is in our own words.
Mm. That's it.
You just guide them to their words, remembering that people have forced their will on us,
Mm.
structure, you know,
Mm.
and we conformed as children, learning how to navigate the world, creating our patterns,
Identities.
prover, achiever,
Mm.
and we just keep, and that is like when we're there, we keep playing it over and over. And to Nikki, your point is that's what we experience. Those are the outcomes that we're creating. And we keep playing the pattern, which is why it never changes. That's why outcomes are the feedback from the outcomes are so important.
So important. So important.
And that we can create our own space.
Mm.
No one else can do that.
That's new. That's what's new. That's new.
Mm-hmm.
Letting go of the old that has not worked, and it's never worked.
Progress.
That's letting go. It's letting go. It's letting go of the old ways, of the old patterns, of how we used to deal with relationships, how we deal with conflict, how we deal with getting offensive, how we deal with disagreements, how we deal with things that people are not you and you are not them. They have a will. They have their own will. And they have a right to be who they choose to be. You do not have to like that. But people want to separate you and put you in a box and say, oh, you crazy now. So be it then. But the only time when you realize why it triggers you is that you believe it. That's what it triggers. That's a real trigger. It's because you believe it. If somebody called me some ugly, mean, horrible name, I would look at them and just go, yeah, really now. Thank you. Thank you. This is because then you don't get moved. You're not moved by people, by their opinion, about what they say about you, what they talk about you, what they think about you, because that doesn't stop you from going progress forwards on your journey, because these things sabotage us. They're distractions. Every little thing comes in. Oh, somebody said that about you. Did you hear that? Oh, did you hear that? Oh, no. And then you go gossiping. Oh my God. It takes you off your focus. It takes you off your vision. It takes you off your purpose. Oh, they were so mean. They're so disrespectful. Oh, did you see that? Oh, they're so disgusting. Yeah, right. It takes you off. God, that's where I focus. That's what our whole premise here is. It's about focusing. Where you're putting your focus. If you're giving them the power over you, they have no power over you. You give them the power. That's when you take your power. That's what it means, take your power back. Because people are going to mess up. They're going to make mistakes all the time. As long as you're on this earth, people are going to screw up. Like you and I screw up. We're no different.
And there's peace in that solidification and that solidness, in that progress from our old self to our new self, to our true self, to our genius, to our multi-potential light.
Well, and then realize that I'm not that overachiever. I never was.
And you were. And I know I was, yeah. Still am. But it's different reasons why now. And sometimes still the same. Ah, there's that pattern again. Yep, there it is. Still there. Still there. You still get frustrated. Yeah. Just not as much.
Mm.
It's progress. To mastery, maybe, I don't know. To something. I got another day. What am I going to do with it? wallow in why I can't have it, or go create it. Those are the two choices. So every time, that's what I said, hey, people speak either what they want or why they can't have it. That's why I find the 2 steps easy, the 3 steps, because the third step's, well, which one what are you going to do about it? That's structure. It's a structure of life. Because we're only a time and a place. Sorry, time and space, which means we're in a place. Time and space, that's all we are. We share it with some and we didn't share it with others. So it's fundamentally works is so we can work with people, we listen with people when we interact with them. It's when they're speaking, I'm listening for what do they want? Or are they telling me why they can't have it? And if it's either one of those, it's filling in between them.
Yeah.
And you can find a direction. You can find on which side of the scale is it headed. That scale just tells me positive, negative, or neutral. That's what I call space. Space is a charge for energy. What's our charge?
Yeah. Or set in the ways.
Which is a negative, for the most people's tendency is negative in that. So that to me closes space.
Yeah, but it's not negative.
Yes, it is.
I say it is.
Yes, it is. I agree. It's negative. Because it's in the feeling also. It's in the feeling of knowing that's being it. And that's where we actually have to come down to what does it really mean to be being it, is the feeling of knowing you are it already. You're not going to something and then you're going to be it. No, you're already it. This is coming to source of knowing you are here already, whole and complete, completely now. And when you have the feeling of abundance, of health, of love, you are vibrating that frequency of allowing more to come. But it's receiving that and allowing that and giving permission again and again and again and again and again. So then you will see it just right in front of you, just coming. But most times people want to talk about the fact that, skill packing, as I call it, to get familiar to have that wealth, to get familiar to have that love that, you in relationships or love with yourself, or having to have the bigger, whatever scenario that you want to have in this reality. Most people don't feel they deserve that. So how can he give it to you if you don't know it, that you actually can have it? So it's for you to have that knowing that everything that is and from above is already yours. That's in the feeling.
Well, I'm just smiling right now. I love this.
That's where power comes from. That's where progress comes from. That's where abundance comes from. That's where whatever you want to call success comes from. Purpose, everything comes from that. So when it does come, you will just be able to receive it because it won't change you. But if you think that that's going to make you better or make a difference, you're going to be disappointed. Because there's always more to come. There's always more to come. There's always more progress. There's always something else that's going to pop up. We're going to have to go through it all over again. And if you don't
I'm
go,
just preparing for the next big one, right? I mean,
You're
we're just
just
preparing for the next big
you're
one.
just preparing for the next big one, baby. Bang! Make
The
a
next big
difference.
lesson, for the next big
Boom.
lesson.
Boom. Fireworks. Let's go.
Oh no,
And
I'm
so-
not like, think it's all lessons, man. See, when we start thinking it like that, I start thinking negatively about things.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
a lesson. It's, really, guys?
Yeah, well, see, then we just create it, right? So that's just me creating another bad lesson on its way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We really have created it all. We don't want to accept it, but it's the truth. We did create it all. We created to survive in circumstances that we were in, and going through life, and yeah. But then you can also recreate now.
Yeah, thank
Because
God.
you got to let go of the childishness. You got to let go of the childlike behavior, in the sense of what you were and what you did go through. Because we just licking our wounds here. But it's important to lick the wounds because it's a time of progress, of healing, to say, yeah, okay, that what happened, that did happen, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry if somebody truly hurt you, or I'm sorry, but it's time when you have to say, when do you let go of that? Because it's living every single day with that. Then it's in your body, and with peace should be your guide. Without peace, there's no, it's going to always feel uncomfortable. Then it's just like that forgiveness when somebody's really done wrong to you and disrespected you or just whatever. And you can just forgive that person. Immediately you feel it in your body. You feel it in your body. Your body speaks. And then other things open up. But without forgiveness, it's a blockage. It will block your blessing. I don't care now what anyone has done to you now. If you're going to share your light and you're going to be a light, that's when you need to forgive very quickly. It's a practice, and I have practiced. I know. But I also now know the power of forgiveness.
Yeah.
I now know the power of letting go.
Yeah.
Now I know the power that whatever comes my way, I can receive it knowing that it's very familiar. It's not unfamiliar now. I'm very familiar. Because God doesn't have respect of persons. What he does for one, he's going to do for another person. Because this is all we're going for. We're going for truth. We're going for love. Everyone wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. This is our whole goal here. To go back into what is real love, truth.
But the thing is, when we're talking about that, they say that words don't teach. So it has to be our vibrational alignment that creates that.
Mm,
You get to love someone, or you can pretend.
mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
like when you truly love someone or something or anything, you're right. You feel it.
Oh,
That's how I know
absolutely.
when I know. I love knowing now that I can hold space for someone on the other side of the world and know
Yeah.
that they're actually feeling that. Like,
Yeah.
see, to know now is such a new thing to me,
Yeah.
but I love it
Yeah.
so much, and that's how I know the connection's stronger now.
Yeah. And love is it's everlasting, you know. Love is sacrificing that love for that person in knowing
Yeah.
that maybe not what you want them to react, but when you stand in that love and you stand knowing that you're just doing it because you're loving, and that's what you're practicing because that's who you are, and then that person will not know how to respond to it because they never received it, they never had the opportunity to demonstrate it in their lives, and they've just been so hurt because they've just been a victim. That feel a victim. And then you just allow them to know and you keep allowing it. And then one day, suddenly, boom, they open up.
Yeah.
They just open up. And you go, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
That was better than I could ever imagine.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so sweet and so open and so freeing and so loving in a way that you go, oh my God, I'm so thankful. So sometimes there's no need for words. It's holding that space.
I think the words create the tension. And then in the tension is the space of what could be created. And everyone's tension is different.
I like that. I like that tension because tension seeks resolution, as I know now, but I never felt very comfortable having tension. I wasn't really comfortable being misunderstood. I wasn't very comfortable
No.
having conflict. But you know what? That is resolution. That is resolution. Because till I experience what I need to experience, or what I need to know, what I need to work through, and if that person can take the capacity to hold me and show me that I'm here, I'm not here to judge you. Yeah. I'm not here to tell you what to do, or you should know this, or I told you. But I'm here to be around people that I now know that have the capacity to hold me for my growth. Because this is my journey. It's my life. I got to live it. No one else. So people can use big words, but words are just words then. It's the demonstration, it's the action behind the words. People can say they love you, but their actions, their behavior, come on. So I'm all about being now truthful, real, true, raw, real truth.
It seems as words are either telling or inviting.
Yeah, telling or inviting. Yeah. Or also manipulating, also controlling, you know, just to get what they want. Because
Yeah.
let's just face it, people are selfish. They only want what they want at the time because they only think that. That's what they think. They won't admit it, but it's the truth. You see it. You see it over and over and over and over. That's why you're expecting something different from other people, but it's not going to happen. You have to be able to go within yourself and say, what can I do to take my responsibility, how I'm reacting or allowing or tolerating that? That's when you have to just bring understanding to everything, because it's not about changing anybody else. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless.
Yeah.
It's what you decide now. You're not the child anymore. You do not have to defend yourself anymore. You don't even need to be understood anymore. You don't even need to be seen anymore. You don't even need to be heard anymore. This is the maturity. This is when you really grow in progress of being a mature. I like to think a child of God, a mature, living, breathing expression of who and what you are, that is God. Boom. The image, the mind, the soul, the emotions, everything. Not complicated. It's just that we need just to get understanding. But I've come to the stage, I don't need to know any further from this, knowing who and what I need to be now. Because this whole distraction of other things coming and letting me lose my focus, I got to go back to where I'm putting my power. And that's where I focus now. I'm not focused when people, it's their whatever. They just show me. Because I've had people tell me a lot of things, many, many, many years. It's what you show me. And to stand by me. And sometimes you got to do right for a long time. But nothing's in vain, because the day comes where it will just be the perfect time in the perfect way where somebody will say, thank you. And that to me is making a difference. When somebody can say thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for saying no when you should have said yes, and yes when you had to say no. Thank you for always following it through. Thank you for always going for what you love. Thank you for always being in your heart. No one knows what other person's going through. This is why I feel to stay in your heart and come with innocence, because with that, you can open up everything and not everybody just to be. Because the ego always wants to tell you that you're wrong, that you got to fix it. Yeah, progress.
Yeah. Telling
You
you,
got
we're
it.
inviting you.
Yeah, you got it. The progress, man. Progress. You got it. You know, you got to see where you were and where you are now and take the action. It's progress. You can't be the same old person for the last 20 years and still keep on telling
You
yourself
can.
that you
People
can't.
do it. But
I
people
know
do
they
it.
do it. I know, but that is not progress.
No, I
That's
agree
not
with you.
growth.
Because it's it's in, like what you said, it's wanting to stay out of the tension, avoid the
Mm,
tension, avoid
mm.
avoid the growth, avoid the pain, and yet they
Run
wallow
away.
in the pain.
Exactly. There's it. There's it. Yeah. That's it. That's it. It's like,
And we
there it
just don't
is.
see it. We don't see the structure. Oh, only when we can
Oh,
start to hear it and be aware of it, like we are, Jesus, we can see it.
that's right. And we can question it.
Yep.
That's the best part. We can question it now. And that's the choices that we make. We can choose.
People tell us what they want, we bring them right back to that.
Yeah.
And they'll tell us why they can't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've all
And we
been
say,
there.
is that true? And then we ask them if that's really
Yeah.
true, because it's only in that
Yeah.
moment that they keep making up that it's true.
Oh, yeah. And that's the difference where you want to know, even for yourself, the identity of what you choosing it to be. It's whatever you choosing to be, if it's a coach, inspiration, a motivator, a teacher of any sort. And I think we are always learning, right? We're learning from every single person. We're learning from the environment. We learn from our children. We learn from each other. We learn even the foods we take in our body. We're learning. We're all learning. And that to me is, how do you become the person that you want to become? Is, I like to say, what will you do? What will you do? The person that you want to become do now, right? So when you get to that place, you can just have that real truth of saying, yeah, I see myself as this now. You know what I mean? I'm not continually saying, oh, I have this identity that I've got to be like this, got to be like this, got to be like this. No, I am it already. I'm already it. And it's not anything of anything than coming into that truth, because when that truth comes, because that's what Pascal like went for, the truth. When the truth comes, it sets you free. It does set you free. That's simple. It sets you free because you're actually activating on that and doing it. And when you're doing it, you're allowing your actual 3D body to say, I can experience heaven on earth. It's not this constantly mastering. Oh, I got to master this. I got to master that. No, I don't want to be in that position anymore. I just want progress. I want to see myself living it, because I know I can have it now. This is what I've come to understand. I can have it now. Everybody can receive it now. Everybody can receive it if they choose it. If they see themselves in that and allowing them just to know that is just because they're living their truth. Because that's our genius. That's where genius lies. We're all spirit. We're all innocent in spirit, coming into this body and allowing us to live it through it. People maybe not like a lesson. Maybe they don't like the word lesson. But in life, if you do not learn the lesson, it will repeat and it will repeat and it will repeat. And you maybe leave this earth and you maybe come back and you'll have to repeat it again. So let's just have the know that what literally do you want? And you can have what you want. Who says you can't have what you want?
Mhm.
We, I, me, myself said, oh, I can't have that. I've got to earn it. Got to work hard, really hard to earn it. Can you cope to earn love? Well, my God, I've been given the gift of love from the time I was in my mother's womb. Yeah. It's eye-opening and it's very, very exciting here, because this is liberation. This is liberty. This is freedom. It's to
so
me,
subtle. It's so
it's
subtle
so subtle.
because we think we have to get something, receive it, be somewhere. It's like we think when we get it,
Yeah.
then it'll all be peaceful and perfect and all work
No.
out. Jesus.
Yeah. No. Oh my God, isn't it? Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good to get to a place where it cannot be better than now. It cannot be better than now. And I'm thankful for the now. I'm thankful for the present, present, paid for, delivered, being it.
The present is just a result of the past actions.
Yeah.
Whether they're the same actions again and again, producing the same outcomes again and again, which should be
But
telling
that,
you something.
yeah, exactly. And that is when it is very a progress. It's a progress of realizing that, yeah, it's going to be very uncomfortable, but that is when the uncomfortable becomes comfortable, when you're doing and knowing how to be in peace with yourself. And it roots down to the root of love. It's the foundation, because without love, we're nothing. We can talk about it, we can think about it, without that is nothing. We can be some sort of superior and think we know it all, but without love, we are nothing. That is our true essence. That is our truth.
Unconditional, no
Unconditional.
conditions,
No
no
condition.
condition,
No, that's right.
as it is.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just feel into that. Just feel into that. This is what we're embodying. This is what we're practicing, to have the embodiment of knowing and feeling it and being it and going for what we love just because we love it. This is what it is. Not resistance. There's no resistance. There's no resistance, no desire. It's just what it is. We don't have to play around the same broken record. That's it. Tune into that. Just really get in tune. Like, boom, play the music. Life's a dance. It's really, honestly.
So we use the words to create the context, to create the tension. And so unconditional love, just sense it, feel it, imagine
Yeah.
it.
Yes. I know that you are it. That's who you are. Because everything intentionally, everything mindfully, everything that you choosing, it would just ooze out. It would just speak volumes.
And so now negatively judge yourself.
Exactly. And also others. We won't need to look at others for validation. We won't need to have others to approve of us because the approval is in us already. And through that approval, energetically, people will feel that because energy speaks. Wherever you go, there you are. It's going to speak. You won't need to speak eventually. We won't need to. We'll just embody the fact that you can just feel it. It's contagious. That's what I'm choosing. I'm not here to be in my head anymore because my head is just my head. It's kept me safe.
Mhm.
But I am safe. No one. No harm can come to me. This is what I choose now. No harm can come to me. I know where my thoughts go. I know I can capture my thoughts. I can pull them down. I can literally pull them down and say, no. I'm not entertaining that anymore. Because I know where I want to put my power. I know where I want to focus. I know where I'm going.
I think the mind wants to go to the future, like to create. I think the mind wants to go to the future. Our gut holds us in the
The mind-
past.
Yeah.
And
The
in
mind
that
is only,
gut, and I think that's why the mind tends to go to the past because, well, the gut is so strong for survival.
But the mind is also reshapeable, and the mind, you can tell the mind. The mind only listens to what you tell it.
That's right.
That's very important. The mind shapes what you tell it.
The
where
mind
the man
follows the
goes-
feelings.
Exactly. And that is when it starts going, oh, that's what you want? Oh, is that what you really want? Then the unconscious go, oh, hell yeah, we got to do this now. And that mind will give you what you want, but what you're choosing. That's why choice is so important. That's why I choose love over fear.
Mhm.
That's why I choose what my experience of what I experience to what I'm choosing, what I'm going to experience now. I'm creating a whole new experience. I am creating what I have always chosen and chosen, knowing that my environment maybe was not in a place where I had authority, but I have authority now. I have authority now. And I understand now.
That's what an adult would say.
And I am just loving it because now I now know what is coming is going to be over and above what I could never imagine. And that to me, I can say thank you for the seeds that I have sowed, because I have sowed good seed in good grounds, not being maybe acknowledged, maybe it was overlooked, maybe it was stomped on, maybe it was total failure, total mistakes, oh my, setbacks, big setbacks, heartbreaking. But I have been always sowing the seed. And so now that I can come to this place and say, thank you for my harvest, because there's a season and there's a time and there's the harvest. And in that time, I had a good attitude. Even when I really messed up, I always say, oh my God, my heart, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but just show me. I am humbly show me now. And it is a humbling experience to go within yourself and say, I messed up, I'm sorry. It's a humble experience,
Yep. The tension of taking that step, you bet. It's uncomfortable, but man, is there progress through it.
Isn't it? Isn't it progress? Because without progress, we can't say we're growing.
We're living the
wanna
same
grow.
thing again and again.
Yeah, I want new
And
experience.
it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get better that way.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
know.
change.
But I want to create new experiences.
Mhm. You know,
I want to let knowing that we are here to be who we choosing to be. And isn't it wonderful when somebody can come to you and they're telling you about something and you know the answer, but you just allow them to let them be.
Yeah.
And let it work it out. And that, these calls, these sessions, us gathering and then going out and scattering, this is so the seed, yeah. Time with each other, time, giving each other time, because we need time for each other. We need to, overlook certain things. Okay, know where you are, it's okay. But it's the time that you invest in someone, and then it comes a harvest. And guess what? When the harvest comes, we all are harvesting. Because we
Yeah.
didn't, we just didn't do it alone. I mean, this is what the joy of being togetherness is.
and we experience the tension together too.
Yeah. So I now know what has really stopped me is the confrontation. Somebody, but I really, honestly, but I also know that now everyone has a will, and I understand and I can respect that. Because this is where you don't give up. Because a lot of people give up too quickly. And in the Bible, as I quote scripture, there's not one sentence in the Word of God that says quit. We don't quit. We keep on. And I got to tell you, I am now, just very excited about the fact that I didn't quit and I didn't give up. And many times I did. And many times I wanted to, you know what I mean?
What a waste that would have been, huh?
Yeah. So I'm grateful that progress has been something of my growth, and I can experience now what I've always knew since a little girl. I always knew this, but because I had to go through experiences, that was very trying, very difficult, and it questioned me, questioned my abilities, it questioned and everything, and everything that was thrown at me, I could have just been stupid and dumb, because that's how I was labeled, stupid and dumb. So I'm grateful that I didn't take those opinions and always knew there was more to what people were saying about me or did to me. So then you can get over that and now become what you're choosing to become and what you decide now. What do you want? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful question. What do you want? Like, really, what do you want? And a lot of times, and I speak for myself, when I heard that the very first time, I go, what? What do I want? I don't know. What? I was really like, wow. I didn't even know how to articulate that. I didn't know how to, what? Me? Yeah, really?
That's the shortcut, means that there's not a lot of resistance around it, but there is a big resistance to it
Yeah,
because we haven't
because you weren't
really.
allowed. You weren't allowed to have what you wanted.
That's right.
You were
It's a- it's-
conditioned. It was conditioned. It was brainwashed.
Mhm.
Every time hit with a hammer over your head every morning. Huh?
Yep.
So yeah, you got to get out of that understanding that, yeah, you're not in that position anymore. But it still takes time, and that's why you're working through progress to see how far you come and how far you need to go. Because we got a long way still to go, hey? We haven't even touched the surface yet. We all got a long way to go. We no one will arrive. And this is very important that people need to understand. No one's going to arrive. You're never going to arrive. We're not coming out here alive. We're all going to die. We also got to understand that part. So this is where you're going to stay. And this is what we learn, is to stay in our hearts.
Yeah.
To be around people that can support you because it's needed. It's a need. It's an actual need.
Yep. We have 4 years of living our true nature, our true self, our unconditional love. We had 4 years of that at best. And the rest of our life has been running away from that and building patterns against that. And so however long that is for you, we have to unwind all those patterns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the farther we're away from it,
I
the
mean,
harder
that's why.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I realize when I look within myself and I say my actions will determine what my unconscious will say yes to, right? And when your unconscious hears and sees that this is what you're doing physically, in the physicalness, of doing it, that's when he says, okay, you really want that, right? I go, yeah, I really want that. I'm very careful of saying want, because I don't like to use the want. This is what I'm choosing. This is what's going to happen. This is just it. There's no other option. I haven't got a B plan yet. This is A plan, boy. That's it. This is it. A. And that's it. And that's when I train myself. I discipline myself. I'm obedient to it. I submit to it. Because otherwise I'm just a little ping pong, just going back and forth. And that I now know my true power. That's where power sits. Because now I'm choosing it. When I heard the choose to live the life I love, I loved that. It was, I was like gobsmacked. I said, wow, and I know you, Jesse, that you but you practiced the 4 core choices for, I think, over 6 months.
Years, yeah.
Years. I remember you saying that, you've been doing that for I heard more than a year.
Yeah, I did say 6 months, but yep.
I know, but you know what I mean. I didn't know the time. So I'm just saying 6 months plus. But it was years that you just practiced the 4 core choices. And how powerful is that, really honestly, really, really honestly, because when you look at progress, I am living the life I love.
Yeah.
I am my true nature and purpose. Yeah. I'm living my true nature and purpose. I am health and fatality. I am health and fatality. Not becoming, I am it already. I'm living it.
Yeah. And
Isn't that
then-
powerful? I mean,
and
that's
from
what
there
you're
our
going
choices.
for.
And then
Yeah.
from there our choices show up.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we're putting things out there that we think we want.
Exactly. No, it's just, yeah, it's just exciting to, have progress.
Mhm. And enjoy
And I'm
it.
not, and enjoy it. And that's the thing where I ask myself, the pressure of wanting to be and be and be and be and be and feel, and then I go, there's no pressure.
Yep.
What is the rush? Where am I rushing to?
Yep.
Literally, what am I rushing to? Carl is going to be turning from 1 to 2 to 3, not in every other day. It's going to be a yearly thing.
Mhm.
It's a growth of going through life saying, okay,
Every day, every
I
moment.
can, every moment, like, how did I respond to that 5 years ago and I'm responding it today? I respond differently. That's progress. Not taking it personally, it's progress. Listening is progress. It's becoming seriously real for me now. It's
Mhm.
coming very real to me now. It's so real now that I think, thank you. Thank you. Like the light is on. The lights are on.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it sped up when we worked together.
that's it, eh? That's it. And that I say thank you today for, because
Me too.
this was not a coincidence. This was divinely planned.
Mhm.
Because it's added value, it's added substance, it's added all kinds of things of me to experience, to go within and go, wow, what is that? What is that? How do I prove? Why is this? Why is that? Boom, boom, boom. And then you just can go in and go, how can I have progress in that? How can I find a way where I can live in peace and harmony with others? It's a gift. It's a gift. Because I always believe that is truly what people really, truly asking for.
Well,
So
what a
thank you,
great
thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
What a incredible, powerful, insightful, taking it through my day. Thank you so much. I love you both very much. Pascal, I hope you're there. I hope you're there. We were saying goodbye yesterday, but you didn't say goodbye.
Oh,
So
I'm
you want to
here.
say
I'm here.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday you didn't say goodbye, and we had to go because I'm accustomed to you always saying goodbye and not just
Yeah. No, for
just
sure. Like I
just
was in the
leaving
garage
without.
and then I was losing connection because it was too far from like my phone, like because I connect both phones together. And if I go too far from the truck, like I lose connection. But yeah,
Do you want to say something before we set off on our? Yes, I love to hear.
Yeah, when you said like love versus fear, the word that came to mind, it was consciousness, expanding consciousness versus retracting consciousness. I watched a powerful video yesterday, and it was about what is really our true purpose to be on this planet as a human being. And as simple as it sounds, and as powerful as it sounds, it's just to gather information. So you gather information through your experience, through whatever you're learning.
Hmm.
And really
That's
another
right.
thing that was said, it was like, yeah, like we're always in distraction of gathering information
Mm.
through our food, through
Mm.
media,
Mm. Mm.
through
I
everything
love
we
it.
hear,
Mm.
smell,
Mm.
feel.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, and there's a
Mm.
saying that like a person sick only think about one thing,
Mm.
is to get well.
Mm.
So it's really like, you know, trying to remove
Oh,
our distraction, so to really find who we truly are.
love it. Mm.
And yeah, like, and it's really like gathering that information to source, so
Yeah.
we expanding that consciousness.
Yeah.
So to me, like, that relieved pressure, but in the same time that gave me like a kick in the butt, because like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to come up there or whatever, like, you know, finish my life and like have an empty bag.
Mm. I doubt that. Let me just tell you
I
that
want
right
something
now.
to show
That's not
for.
gonna happen. That's not happening. Trust me on that one. I know that for sure. If I can bank money, I'm banking it now on you, because that's never gonna happen. It's, you know what's so beautiful about the fact that you can appreciate what a person, you know, for who it is just, it adds so much more to a person's life just being on a call. And then, you know, my God, you know, how powerful that is, you know.
Yeah.
And then being able to share whatever it's sharing just because you want to share it. And that is even then gives more information. And then it's up to the person that decides, are they going to take it or not? But at least you sowed the seed, you know. And I think that's what's beautiful about us, that we just sow in the seed, and it's for us to be able to water it, and it's for us to nurture it, you know, and bring it into good soil that we can grow a beautiful harvest. Because as we grow, others grow. And
Yeah.
like even today, like this is, I don't know how many days, but you know, it's not about, I don't want to verbalize what I'm eating, but I made that choice. And it was just a choice that I made. It wasn't anything about, you know, the reasons. I just made the choice, you know, you know what we're talking about, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I decided that, and I went, my God, it's so easy, because it was the timing, because it is the timing for me to make adjustments. And not to say I didn't make adjustments my whole life with what I put in my body, but I now made the adjustment that really I can now have full, like, potential of really living the optimal health that I'm choosing, you know,
Yeah. Sure.
and it gives me so much joy, because I wouldn't have had that information if he didn't share it. And then it
Yeah.
backed with confirmation, with my sister sending me another information that combined in the same week. And I said, if this is not coming to me and saying, hello, are you there? And I go, yes, I'm here. He says, right. Are you going to take the action? I go, yep, taking the action, because it's the obvious action to take. And if I made this decision maybe 2 years ago, there would be a major resistance in the people that live with me and the people that are around me. But because I am solid, and because I'm making my quality decisions for me, you do not have to accept it, but it's my life, in knowing that I'm choosing it. Everything else energetically is lined up with respect and honor and no resistance. Right?
Yeah.
And then you know you're in the flow, because that is just something that I'm doing. and I am getting major results for it. Like major results. In a couple of days even, I'm feeling the change, you know? And so that's exciting when you feel that you're taking the right action and you feel it in your body and you're getting the results. To me, that's progress. And I have been working since the age of maybe 11 years old that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
Right? I'm always 11 years old there. And, you know, finding out what is right, what is this, what is that, the exercise, blah, blah, blah. And through the process, I've learned that it just needs a little adjustment once in a while, a little adjustment. Because why? I'm evolving, yeah? What I could 20 years ago, what I'm doing 5 years ago, what I did a year ago, what I did last week, I'm evolving. And now I can just come into my fullness of knowing what I'm choosing is directly in alignment to where I want to be. So it's inevitable that I have it already, that I am already it. So this is what I feel, you know?
Yeah, I feel that too, for sure.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. Do you hear me?
Right,
Do you hear
yeah.
me when I say thank you?
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure.
Thank you, Pascal and Jesse. Thank you. Okay, I gotta go now. I'm complete. I'm really
All right, guys.
complete. Thank you
Sounds-
so much.
Thanks,
Blessings.
guys.
Bye.
Bye for
There's
now.
music to my ears this morning.
Woo! Let's go. Music to my ears.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye, Pastor.